Rather lads, welcome back to Cossy Arsenal Podcast. My name is Cossy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. We're going to be diving into the latest around Arsenal. According to the Times, Gary Jacobs, Arsenal will sign 4 players in the summer. Now, those are the only priorities that we are looking at. It could be 5, it could be 6 as well. It looks like we're going to be splashing the money yet again in another summer transfer window. And if we do, that means that Arsenal will have gone 3 transfer windows in the summer, splashing the cash. I want to ask you a very simple question right here. Is this where you back Stan Kroenke? Is this where you feel Stan Kroenke has done his job for Arsenal? He can stay as the owner. I want to get your thoughts and opinions right in the comment box below. But we're going to be discussing 4 signings in the summer. Is it too much? Is it too little? We have UCL coming up next season. Difficult competition. We've not been there in 7 years. Should Arsenal make more signings? Should we make probably 2 signings and the world class? Or should we make 4 world-class signings? We're going to be diving into that. Hit the like button. Let's get this video to 500 likes. Subscribe to the podcast as well, as we are very close to 66,000 subscribers. Now, the story comes in from the Times, and Gary Jacobs has actually been writing on this one, and he said, first and foremost, Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta wants to add 4 players to the squad this summer. The Gunners want to bolster the squad as Champions League football is set to return next season, and they know they will need more depth in the competition. With that said, Arsenal want to sign 2 central midfielders, a winger, and possibly a left back. Arsenal are confident they can sign West Ham United captain Declan Rice, who will be probably costing around £80 million, and could also reconsider Brighton and Hove youngster Moises Caicedo. Arsenal could be willing to listen to offers for Kieran Tierney and are likely to move on from Albert Sambi-Lokonga and Nuno Tavares, who are both on loan away from the club. Additionally, the Gunners will have to decide what to do with Florian Balogun, who's been on fire for Reims in the League One. The Times notes that Balogun will unlikely want to return to Arsenal as third choice striker behind Eddie Nketiah. That is the story coming in from the Times, as quoted by the Arsenal Buzz. Now, that is where we're going to be having our conversation. 4 signings. If you had 4 signings, who are they gonna be? Let me know in the comment box below. Because according to the Times, 2 central midfielders, a left winger, and a left back. Now, yesterday, of course, I did report that David Ornstein did confirm. David Ornstein is a more credible journalist than Gary Jacobs. I'm really sorry, Gary, but I think David Ornstein has more sources, better sources, and that's what makes you a better journalist. If you have better sources, he has better sources and is closer to Arsenal than Gary Jacobs. So I would believe David Ornstein over Gary Jacobs. But why I believe this story as well, and why I've decided to react to it, is that you look at the number of signings that they quoted. David Ornstein is actually quoting. He says Arsenal are likely to move for 3 signings in the summer. He says a center forward, he says a holding midfielder, and a fullback. Now, that is very similar to what we are having here. The difference is that right now we're having 2 central midfielders, that is +1. We are having a left back that is more specific in terms of a fullback. It is now a left back, and we are not actually going to sign a center forward according to Gary Jacobs. We're going to sign a left winger. So we're going to be diving into all the discussion, okay? But listen, in terms of midfield, I think we lack. I think we are lacking in terms of midfield. Odegaard, brilliant. He can become world class. Xhaka, out of date. Thomas Partey, I'm sorry, if he cannot stay fit for 5-10 games, in my opinion, then he cannot be representing Arsenal in the UEFA Champions League. Now, this is going to be a little bit harsh, and I know many of you will tell me, well, Cossy, come on. Partey is the best defensive midfielder in the world. I don't have a problem with that. For me, he's the best, but he can't stay fit. He cannot be consistent. And for you to be world class, for you to be the best in the world, you need to do whatever you do at a more consistent level, at a more permanent and consistent basis. That is my problem with Thomas Partey. And when you introduce a player like Declan Rice, young, energetic, has a future. His ceiling is high. Captain for West Ham. He can be captain for Arsenal maybe later on when things change. That is a good replacement. Like you can't fail to have a replacement like that. Now we are also hearing still from the Times that Arsenal will try to reconsider their stance on Moises Caicedo from Brighton. If Arsenal sign Moises Caicedo and we sign Declan Rice and we have Partey and we have Xhaka, that is the midfield complete for the next 5 years. Those are signings that will take us all the way through something like half a decade. Until Xhaka leaves, until Partey leaves, we won't be looking for another midfielder. Partey to back up Moises Caicedo, or Moises Caicedo to back up Thomas Partey, depending on what, whichever way you want to put it. And then Rice will be backed up by Granit Xhaka. So it makes a lot of sense for us to go for two midfielders. We already have been talking about a backup for Thomas Partey, and we are always talking about an upgrade to Granit Xhaka. My only fear and my only concern is when I play Moises Caicedo and Rice, I don't see the goals between those two. I don't see creativity between those two. Now, I've looked at the metrics for Declan Rice, brilliant metrics in terms of progressive passes, key passes, and all that. But when I play West Ham, when I look at West Ham as they play their football, and I will be watching them very, very closely tonight at the Old Trafford as they take on Man United, I don't see that creativity from Rice. The numbers show differently, and what I'm seeing on the pitch is also different. And we've got to agree, his performances have come down a little bit. But I'll never sign Declan Rice as an 8, box to box. I don't see him as that. He's become a little bit better in that role. But to be honest, what Arsenal should do, in my opinion, get Declan Rice and play him in that single pivot. Train him as a single pivot, train him as a single defensive midfielder. He's going to do well. If Sergio Busquets has done it, who doesn't even have that energy, but he's got a very, very clear IQ, of course. Don't get me wrong. But if he's done it, then Declan Rice could. Declan has the power, has the pace, has the brains, has the Premier League experience. The leadership qualities are also there. I think 2 central midfielders, 1 DM, 1 CM, that is brilliant, okay? So if I was to spend the money, I probably would spend more on Declan Rice, and then the other around £60 million on Moises Caicedo. I really believe Arsenal should sign Moises Caicedo. He's going to be on the move in the summer. If it's not Arsenal, it would be someone else. And that's what I don't want. These are opportunities that we want to, get onto jump onto them as quickly as possible so that we are safe for the next half a decade. Does Moises Caicedo guarantee us a success in UEFA Champions League? No. Does Declan Rice guarantee us success in the UEFA Champions League? I think yes, he does. I think he does. I think he's one of those players that really deserve to play in the UEFA Champions League, although their teams can't afford to do that, and they can also not single-handedly take a club like West Ham from relegation to UEFA Champions League. So Declan Rice, that one, I'll take him all day, every day. Now, this report also says that Arsenal would love to sign a left winger and not a centre forward. This is where the problems are, and this is where the discussion begins, okay? Should we sign a centre forward or should we sign a left winger? Centre forwards, we have Florian Balogun coming back from France at Reims, top scorer in the French League R1 in the French League R right now. We have Edin Ketia backing up Gabriel Jesus as well. So we have 3 centre forwards at the moment. I don't think they're the best. I don't think they are. It's hard to upgrade on them. It's easy. I can upgrade on Gabriel Jesus. I can upgrade on Edin Ketia. I can upgrade on Florian Balogun. For example, you look at a club like Manchester City. Haaland is massively better than Gabriel Jesus, and Julian Alvarez is way clear of Edin Ketia. So it means we can upgrade, right? We can have an upgrade on those two. But I don't think Arsenal really need to upgrade on Gabriel Jesus. We just need to give him that time, settle in, be comfortable, train him how to finish chances, and we're going to have a beast of a striker. But I would love to see a centre forward, to be honest. Even if it's not Ivan Toney, who has been found guilty of the charges of betting and violating FA rules regarding to betting, even if it's not Ivan Toney, I think Arsenal would do well, and we would actually be very, very, safe if we brought in a centre forward. I think Florian Balogun that's too early for him to play in the UEFA Champions League. Like, that would be a little bit harsh for us to go, Balogun, come in for the UEFA Champions League. That would be a little bit, quick, harsh, and rushed. So I think Balogun, and I'm going to talk about him at the end of this video, just needs to go on another loan deal, probably at Reims or probably at another club that can, compete at a bigger level. Maybe Marseille, maybe Nice, maybe Lille Metropole, okay? Eddie Nketiah, I'm not really sure what I think about Eddie Nketiah's future. At times I feel like Eddie should leave Arsenal, and at times I feel like that is very harsh. He must stay and probably fight for his position. But that's what I'm going to say here, right? This is what I'm going to say. If Arsenal want to win at a top level and maintain winning at a top level, these are the difficult decisions Edu is going to try to make and is going to have to make every single summer. Do you keep Xhaka? Do you keep El Neni? Do you keep Nketiah? Do you keep Karantiani? Do you keep Rob Holding? Those difficult decisions, players that look innocent, players that have done nothing, players that have been loyal to the club, do you move them on, or do you go chickening? Do you become a chicken and you're like, oh, we cannot give Xhaka, we cannot let Xhaka go. He's been here for a very long time. Or we cannot let Eddie go. He's been here for a very long time and he's also an academic graduate. You've got to be ruthless. And if I'm going to be ruthless, Eddie leaves. Yeah. Eddie leaves, we bring in a real centre forward to compete with Gabriel Jesus. For me, that's it. Ollie Watkins, nice shout. He can be there for 3 years. And then you sell him when he becomes 30. I would say Brian Mbeumo, but Brian Mbeumo works more in a partnership. So I don't think he would be that kind of guy that Arsenal want to sign. But I really, really love him. I do. Alexander Mitrovic is another guy that you could be thinking about as an Arsenal as an Arsenal team that's going into the UCL. Competitive guy, heavy guy, strong, good in the air, can also pounce on defenders. Mitrovic, very, very different from character of Gabriel Jesus. You could bring him in. So for me, a centre forward, I would back a centre forward more than I back a left winger. But the report says that Arsenal would love to sign a left winger, and I don't have a problem with that. If we can get someone young, someone proven, young but proven, like we try to do with Mikhail Modric, I would be absolutely okay. Now, this is where the advantage of signing a player like Leandro Trossard comes in. Trossard is literally an all-round player. You can play him as a 10, as a 9, as a 7, and as an 11. So Gabriel Martinelli retains the status of Arsenal's leading left winger. But then you sign in someone, you bring in someone like Moussa Diaby for 75 million. Okay? It's either he pushes Gabriel Martinelli to becoming the world-class potential star that we all know he can become, or he pushes him out of the lineup and Moussa Diaby becomes the starting player. Okay? Look, if we bring in a player like Moussa Diaby, it works in our favor. And I know many people are going to say, well, Cossy, look, Gabriel Martinelli doesn't deserve that. Gabriel Martinelli deserves to start every game. That is not what clubs like Bayern do. That's not what clubs like PSG do. That's not what they do. Look at Bayern. They have a Coman, they have a Sadio Mane, and they have a Joao Cancelo. Like, all those players can play as 11s. But they're comfortable. There are no news of, oh, listen, Coman is very unhappy. Yeah, players do want to change environment. There's no question about that. But look, competition has to be in the squad. So Moussa Diaby for me, I'll take Federico Chiesa from Juve. I'll take. I'm looking at a few, talents. Maybe Inaki Williams. Is he called Inaki Williams? The young boy, the Spaniard. The one who doesn't play for Ghana, Williams. No, he's not. Actually, the brother to Inaki Williams is the one I'm talking about. I'll check as well, all right? So, I think we need a left winger. We will really, really do need a left winger that can match the energy, the potential of Saka, all right? that left winger that can, elevate our game when Saka is out of the game, or can actually combine with Saka to form a very, very deadly trio. Remember Sadio Mane, Mo Salah, and Roberto Firmino. That is what we're looking for. We're not looking for sympathy for our players. We're looking for absolute quality. Now, in terms of a left back, this has also been confirmed that Arsenal will listen to offers for left back Kieran Tierney and are likely to move on from Nuno Tavares, who is on loan at Marseille. So, let me get this right. Kieran Tierney moves out. Arsenal go for a left back. I'm not okay with this. I don't even want to lie. I'm not okay with Kieran Tierney going out of the door. I'm not okay with this. My opinion, my strong opinion would be Arsenal should keep Kieran Tierney. But that's not gonna happen, is it? That's never gonna happen. I don't know why we're selling Nuno Tavares though. I'm not really sure why we're selling Nuno Tavares. I thought you get rid of Kieran Tierney and then you keep Nuno Tavares. So I would keep Nuno Tavares. At least for another season. And then Florian Balogun doesn't want to be a third striker. Send him out on loan. Does he want to go on a permanent? No. Purely, no. I was wrong when I said sell him. I was wrong. Keep him for another season on loan. We can give him to Norwich. We can also give him to Brighton. Brighton never score goals. Or to Chelsea. You never know. On loan, though. On loan, okay? But I need your thoughts. I need your comments in the comment box below. Don't forget, we will have a live stream right before the game. That's exactly 10 p.m. We'll have a live stream to preview what's gonna happen in that game, and of course, a live stream after the game as well. Cheers! I'll speak to you right in the next one.